Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and today we are welcome with Miss Josie Valentine. How we doing?
Doing pretty well, pretty well. It's a beautiful Thursday. What is this, evening, afternoon, evening
Yeah,
in
something like
Central
that.
Time? So, I days, it's everything's just a blur to me with wrestling on the weekend. So I
I,
forget what day it is, honestly.
you mentioned it's your Friday. You enjoying your Friday so far?
Yeah. So a little about me, like shoot job wise, I work overnight. So if I'm not sleeping, I'll probably be in school or training or in the gym mostly. So it's like I said, it's one big day out of the week. So I don't know what day it is. Sometimes I don't even know what time it is. I woke up and I thought it was morning. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, oh,
It happens.
that's what we are with this Friday of mine.
But before we dive into all things wrestling and why you love it, why you're a part of it, would you like to shout out your social medias and even upcoming events just to let the fans know where they can check you out?
Yeah, for sure. So social media, it's basically everything is Josie Valentine, TikTok, Instagram. You can even add me as a friend on Facebook if you'd like to. Don't really have Snapchat or like Twitter. Don't really keep up on those things, but uh, I want to say the nearest event I have is September. Sorry, my contacts are September 5th for HWE in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then I also have another show for Zawa, Illinois, Saturday, September 6th in, oh boy, let me double check the site or the city for that one.
Of
It's going
course.
to be in Nelson, Illinois. So we're kind of hitting up north and then shooting down back south. So a little bit of a traveling weekend next weekend.
Okay. You excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Oh, goodness, I'm in two tags. So Friday night, I'm teaming up with Stacy Shadows, and then I'm going over to Zawa. I have my first debut match with Zawa for the tag team championship. So
Starting off hot.
it's yeah. Hopefully, bringing home the gold.
Okay.
Or late Saturday night. So we'll figure it out. We'll see. We're kind of just rolling with the punches right now.
I like it. I like it. Here on the podcast, I try to start at the same spot. Um,
Mhm.
when did you find professional wrestling, and what about it, like, drew you in, or for lack of better words, made you fall in love with it?
um, Professional wrestling was basically forced upon me.
Okay.
Forced. I am the youngest out of three other siblings. The oldest being 18 years older than me. The second oldest is 14 years older than me, and then my brother is 4 years older than me. So the one that is 14 years older than me, he's in love with professional wrestling. So big shout out to my older brother Michael. Um, Loved the Attitude Era. Obviously grew up with it when he was a teenager, and then nobody really wants to watch pro wrestling with annoying teenager and get excited and everything. So when I was born, he's just like, you have no choice but to come over here and watch pro wrestling with me. So ever since I was a toddler, I remember the fist for SmackDown in the early thousands. I swear to God, I remember John Cena's debut, like coming out and everything as a kid. So I just grew up with it. It was kind of like always in the background of my birthday parties or whenever people were over. It was always in the background of when I was growing up. So I can't really pinpoint of when I fell in love with it. I just know from like an early age, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a pro wrestler. I remember no notebooks, notepads in school. I heard WWE. I love WWE, or I love this wrestler. I love that wrestler. And my mom's like, oh, it's a phase. It's a little phase. She'll grow out of it. Tomboy girl, whatever. No, it wasn't until high school. I was graduating high school, and unfortunately, my uncle couldn't make it to my graduation, so he gave me like $500, and he's like, "Sorry, I can't make it. Here's some money. Go do whatever teenagers do." Months later, my mom's like, "What'd you do with that 500?" I was like, "You kidding me? It's sitting in the bank still." that was when she realized, she's like, oh, you're saving up for wrestling school. She's like, okay. She's like, yep, this is not a phase. She's never going to grow out of it. So yeah, I can't really pinpoint when I love professional wrestling. It's just always been there with me. And I knew it's always been there when I needed it the most as well.
Okay. You mentioned you write in your notebooks, I heart whoever. Who were those whoever's after the I
No.
hearts?
Um it's oh gosh, you put me on the spot. It was the reason why I'm the toughest tomboy, they're not supposed to see the side of me,
Look, it's better than just saying who were your favorites. Obviously, the
No,
ones whose
you're
heart were
right.
your favorites.
You're right. John Cena, I'll admit it. John
Okay,
Cena, Randy
of
Orton,
course.
CM Punk at the time as well. So the upcoming guys are the main guys. So um, yeah, I just remembered seeing a John Cena sign, and it was big. It was pretty big too. Like 4 or 5 people were holding it on a Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
And I was like in the second grade, third grade, and I read out the sign out loud. I was like, "Marry me, John Cena." My brother looks and he goes, "That's disgusting. I don't ever want to hear you say that." I was like, "Whoa, I'm just reading a sign on Monday Night Raw." And then I was just like, "You know what? He is pretty attractive." I was like, "I won't lie." I was like, "I won't lie." But no, it was John Cena, CM Punk, and Randy Orton all over my notebook. So
It's quite the mesh of individual. They all different types of wrestlers, different personas, different looks. Like so,
yeah,
you had variety at least.
yeah, I do. I do. Kind of also looked up to John Cena with like the whole hustle, loyalty, respect thing,
Of
and
course.
I was I was big on sports, so like uh, the hustle and the loyalty and the respecting your other and respecting your opponents and the good sportsmanship. Like I took that by heart. Like everybody always wanted to win. I wasn't in it. I was like, I'm just here to have fun. Like that was really about it. I was with my best friend at the time. Like we were playing softball, baseball, basketball, you name it. Like I was just really there to make memories with her, and I didn't care if we were really winning or losing. Like we always we'd have to travel, so we'd be on the bus and just being stupid on our iPod fourth generations of like the stupid Flappy Bird games or whatever. So it's just like good little memories like that.
I would say like going just to the hustle, loyalty, respect aspect of Cena, it's definitely like something that always stuck out to me as a kid because it was
Yeah.
our version of take your prayers, say your vitamins.
Yep.
He was our Hogan for
He
like for
was.
our generation. That's what Cena was, and I mean still is. So I would say there couldn't be a better role model if we're being honest on how
Mhm.
to live. I mean, at least your professional life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I admire that. What have you thought about this retirement run?
Um, I hear bits and pieces of it. I heard he had a great match with Cody during SummerSlam. I
Yep.
unfortunately have not seen it yet, but from what I've been hearing, it's been it's been a run for him, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
sad that I'm missing it just because I'm trying to go up with my own career in professional
Yeah.
wrestling. I unfortunately don't watch a lot of Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, so and knowing that I'm missing it is kind of like heartbreaking because I grew up with him, and now this is his last year, and it's still surreal to me because I'm just like, oh, he'll be back, for guest appearances, he'll be back. Well, what if he's not back? Like, what if he's done? Like with like WWE with everything, like he's maybe taking up more on acting or whatever. Like, yeah, sure, I'll see him in the big screen, but that's not what I know him by.
Yeah.
I don't know him by an actor. I know him by a professional wrestler.
Okay. So, like, obviously, we talked. You said Orton, Punk, Cena. Who have you been able to, like? be inspired by, and to take what you watched and learned from them maybe in the ring and brought it into your own persona and to
Yeah.
build Josie as a character.
I always wanted the tough sportsmanship. So I did take that from Cena, and then like more so like the serious facade of Randy Orton as well, like just how he presents himself out to the ring. You know, uh, chest out, kind of shoulders back. I've always liked his physique coming out to the ring and how confident he was.
Okay.
And then for CM Punk, it was his attitude. I won't lie. I always liked his attitude. Also, his style in the ring. I actually, uh, when I was changing personas and gimmicks, I wasn't always the toughest tomboy in the ring. I was actually kind of somebody I wasn't, which was a pink and black gear wearing, heart wearing girl. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I can do this, like wearing fishnets and tight clothing. And then somebody pulled me aside and he was just like, hey, like, I know this isn't you. Like, get rid of that pink and touch something like that's real, that says this is me. So I actually got my lip pierced in honor of CM Punk. So I was just like, all right. I was like, well, there's that for Punk. There's something a little bit, more different in my style as well, of just than wearing fishnets and tight clothing.
Okay. So, like growing up, was there ever any like idea for you to go do something else, or were you dead set on becoming a professional wrestler?
I was dead set on becoming a professional wrestler. My mom, I was just speaking with this about her like a few days ago. Uh, she was, my parents were very upset that I didn't have a plan B. And I said, well, CM Punk didn't have a plan B. He didn't, he was always sticking with plan A, and I was becoming a professional wrestler and blood, sweat, and tears in that professional wrestling ring. So I was just like, I can do that too. Breaking kayfabe for a little bit. I'm actually from Iowa, a small town from Iowa. So getting out of town was actually the hardest part of my, like, starting my new life as in becoming a professional wrestler, because it was like anything and everything in the universe was actually trying to like get me to stay in that town. I remember my sway bar broke a week before I started camp. Um, my alternator went out like 2 months before I was supposed to head out and check out the camp, and then like everything and anything was just trying to stop me, and I was just like getting knocked down repeatedly, and I'm like, I'm not giving up. Like, I was 17 or 18 years old. I'm making minimum wage, if that, at a job that was like at a fast food. And I was just like, I seriously need to get out of this town or it's going to unfortunately kill me. I was like, it's now or never. So eventually I finally did get out of the small town and into Chicago and started up my professional wrestling training.
Okay. How did you go about selecting a school? Because I mean, in this area, there's plenty of schools, whether
Yeah.
freelance, galley, Chicago style wrestling, Ice Pick, Black and Brave. Like, there's
Mhm.
academies everywhere. So how did you go about selecting the one that would maybe fit you?
Um, that is a good question. I knew I wanted one that would feel like home each time I stepped into the ring. So going out and about and like checking their social medias, like that was a major thing, and seeing if they were up to date and like seeing if they were still posting and like, oh, okay, this place is still posting and still going on about their classes where, oh, unfortunately, they say that they're still up and running, but they're not really, giving it out any information about their classes. So I knew I wanted to kind of still be close to home. I know I wanted to still be in the Midwest. I also knew I wanted to be trained by the best. So that was kind of like, okay, now where do we go from there? And then just talking with some friends that was in, or sorry, that are still in the indie scene. That's kind of how I picked out my school, is just by talking to some friends and like getting some advice from them.
Okay. What did the first day look like of training for you? I know that's usually the hardest. Walking
Mm,
in, finding out what's going on, even taking the first bump, even like what did that look like for you?
Nerve-wracking. So I started up with Bryce Benjamin
Okay.
at the Bryce is Right University, and he was just very patient with me. And I remember my first bump, concussed, of course. So I did not have a strong neck. So first bump laid out, stared up at the ceiling. I was just like, "Yep, this is it. This is over. Like my wrestling career is over." But no, he never he didn't give up on me. So I praise him constantly, and like always, like that he was very patient with me and never gave up on me. And to this day, I'm like still here. I'm still wrestling.
How long did you partake in like your formative training before you actually got to getting your first match and debut?
That is a good question. So when did I start training with them? I want to say in 2021. At the end of 2021 is when I started training with them. So it was very off and on, just because with the coronavirus and everything. Um, I want to say maybe like 2 years in until I finally got the green light to go off and wrestle in front of a live audience.
Okay. And like what did what was going through your mind going into the debut, and how did it feel being in the ring for the first time in front of a live audience and actually competing? And also, like, what was it like afterwards? What was the feedback you got?
Nerve wracking. It was very nerve wracking. I actually remember that like the ref, he was uh, Mike Jarrett. He was special guest refereeing our match, and he actually, bless his heart, he actually memorized the match for us, for me, because I was so nervous I couldn't remember it. I couldn't I couldn't remember anything, and I was just like I couldn't even remember when to go out for my entrance. And then I felt a shove, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm going." And I don't even think I remembered like hitting the fans' hands, or like I was just so nerve wracking. I in the ring, okay, let's tussle, let's do this. Where's the bell? And then all of a sudden, I just remember the finish was Xavier Michaels going over on me. He cheated, pinned me with his feet up on the ropes, and uh, 1, 2, 3, and that was it. And then I just remember going to the back, and everyone was saying like how proud of them, how proud they are of me, just because I finally made my debut. You made it, kid. Your first match in the books. Like it's nothing but up from here, which is kind of true. Really, honestly, it didn't really start going up until I want to say April of this year, April of 2025, and I debuted in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, 2023.
So, like, what made you decide, like, when you first started, to come out in the, like you said, the pink and the fishnets, and to be this girly girl kind of like, what made you decide not to lean into the tomboy aspect of your actual personality?
So it was gear wise. I actually didn't have money for gear just yet. And I was wrestling, or not even wrestling, I would say I was with a promotion, kind of being, filming their matches and really being there helping out and everything. They knew I was training, and then they kind of put the belt on me, 20, 25-8, yeah, 25-8 belt, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Here's this belt back, and they're like, oh no, it's yours. You're our 25-8 champion, and now you're going to be competing. And I was just like, what? I said, huh? So they kind of gave me like the push to, well, we knew you're too shy. We knew you weren't going to go and wrestle on your own, or even if your coaches gave you the green light, you'd still, oh no, I'm good. Like, so they kind of gave me the shove, like, yeah, go wrestle. um, so I went to High Spots, and I saw 3 sets of gear for women. It was white and black, green and black, and pink and black. And I'm just like, all of these are just ugly in my opinion. So I went with pink and black. Um, and I just knew that like I was more so copying other women. I'm like, okay, well, what is she wearing? Oh, she wears fishnets. That's cool. What does she wear? Okay, she wears like those boots. Well, I'll wear high tops. I was wearing white Nike high tops at the time. Oh, what is she wearing? Oh, she wears these knee pads from Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't even think I was wearing elbow pads yet, and I just remember like my elbows getting super roughed up with every bump I took. And unfortunately, oh goodness, I was actually, believe it or not, almost 200 pounds doing this. So it was just not a good look on me, and people weren't unfortunately telling me that it wasn't. So, but they were just proud of me that I was going wrestling. So I took the hard. How do I explain this? It was more so smack in the face by reality when I did my first photo shoot a year into my wrestling career. Um, and I got the results back. I got the photos back, and I just stared at them, and I was just like, "This is not what a professional wrestler is supposed to look like." And I was just like, "What happened?" Like, I was never this heavy. I was never not this athletic because I grew up with sports. I grew up, active. So it was all of the corona weight, the virus weight, and everything, and just being home all day and not going to the gym. Um, so this was actually in 2024, June or July of 2024 is when I got those photos back, and I was just like, all right, we have to step it up and do something about this because I don't like the way I'm looking right now. So meal preps, gym. I did abs and cardio for the next 6 months, and I did a diet of rice, chicken, and broccoli for the next 18 weeks. And in October, I started seeing like I was getting toned. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so this is working. I was like, good to know. And then December hits. I did another photo shoot with Carl. He's great. He's out of Milwaukee. Um, and I did side by side comparisons. I'm just like, okay, now we're slowly getting somewhere. And I didn't have the pink and black gear anymore. I'm wearing the gear I am now. And then slowly, I want to say in April, shout out to TJ, HWE gave me a booking against Stacy Shadows, and that was kind of where it all started. Of like, hey, this is the new Josie Valentine, and this is what I can bring to the ring. This is what I can bring to the table. And she was very open of like, we're gonna get you out there. We're gonna let these fans know who you are, and it's been up ever since.
Do you think like switching the persona and switching the gears and having the little twist in personality has helped you like confidence wise and just helping maybe even uh, further getting yourself out there?
Oh, for sure. I was being somebody who I wasn't. So the whole like girly girl, I don't know how to do. I don't know how to be a girly girl. I don't even know how to do makeup, to be honest. So this whole toughest tomboy in the ring, the icebox Josie Valentine, that's me. Like in the ring and out of the ring, like 24/7. Like I'm I'm just one of the boys, and I take it by heart. So I just take that to the ring and amp it up to 110.
What is where'd you get Icebox from?
So growing up, I was always one of, like I said, one of the boys. And it was just, I don't even know. Somebody was just like, you're not one of the girls. You're just too cold to be one of the girls. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, we could work with something. And a famous movie, maybe a good childhood movie. I might have gotten it from.
Okay, okay. Um, you mentioned a couple times that you're a tomboy, um, and bringing that into the ring. Do you ever like? how do I put this? Enjoy like wrestling. I should just say, do you prefer wrestling male talent or female talent?
Um, I do like wrestling the guys more. I won't lie, just
Okay.
because I could show the crowd the toughness that I have, and like just winding up and cracking them with a forearm or a chop, and then they hit me back with it, and I don't fall or cry or anything, and they're just like, oh dang, like she got spunked. She could take up one of the boys easy. Uh, uh, I don't mind wrestling the girls or the other female talents, especially Sierra. Sierra is awesome. I love going up against her throughout the Midwest. We've been actually hitting it back and forth. Mostly this like all of summer of 2025. We kind of, if not tagged, faced each other. Kind of up and down the Midwest, right, of 2025. It's been a journey of this year, so I'm hoping like it's a bigger and better thing in 2026 and keeps going. I told her, I was like, you're the I was telling her this. I said, you're the Chris Hero to my CM Punk in the early thousands.
Okay. What do you think brings out that chemistry in you guys?
um I don't know. I just knew growing up I wanted somebody like that in the wrestling ring. I was just always knew that I wanted somebody that I can read like the back of my hand, and just knowing that she also loves professional wrestling as much as I do. Like, if not, like she got into it differently than I did, which, you know, that's cool. I always ask her. I probably asked her like 3 times, 4 times, like, hey, how'd you get into professional wrestling again? Because I just love the story. And I love everybody's story of how they got into it, but I don't know, the chemistry just bounced. She was actually my first female opponent last year, actually, last July. So I was very nervous going up against Sierra. So knowing like her reputation and everything, I was just like, oh no, can I keep up? And this was at the time before I was the Icebox, and I was still wearing the pink and black gear and being somebody I wasn't. So that was very tough on me. Like, in questioning it, like I said, if I can keep up with her, and like if not her, can I keep up with the others? But chemistry, like we just grew closer together throughout the months or weeks, the months of this year.
So for like the first year or so of your career, you hadn't even been in a matchup against a female talent?
No, it was actually, I was only working for one promotion, and I was the only female talent on that promotion, and it was just really going up against friends and guys that I knew that because I, you know, helped out set up the ring, tear down the ring, film their promotion, ticket wise. I knew the guys like nothing. So it was more so like, hey, let's get little sister in here and see what she's made of. And so that was basically my full year of wrestling in front of an audience. And maybe a little bit for another promotion for like 3 times out of the year, out of that year of 2023. But it was mostly the promotion with all the guys.
So how did the matchup against Sierra come about?
Um, how did it come up about? I the promoter kind of just like reached out to me, and he was like, hey, I have an event that's going on this day. Can you make it? And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's look into this. Look into it. Ask them who it was about, like who I would be going up against. And he's like, oh yeah, Sierra. And I was like, you think I'm good enough to go up against Sierra? I was like, excuse me. I was shocked. I was horrified. I wanted to throw up. I was very nervous. And we actually, it's so funny because whenever we talk about this match, I didn't do well. My cardio was not the greatest. And like I said, so this was the time I got the photos back from my photo shoot, and I knew, hey, this isn't what a professional wrestler is supposed to look like. This was kind of slowly the beginning of the transition of me with my weight loss. So I was hitting the gym, but not my body wasn't used to it.
Mhm.
So it's funny that whenever we talk about this match, I'm like, nope, we're not talking about this. we're not ever talking about this match. It never happened. Please God, no. But yeah, she took care of me in the ring. So I was a heel, first time heel too, and I just can't do it. I just can't be a heel. I can't be a bad guy. And she was awesome. She walked me through everything. So and then I went to a Young Gravy concert after that. That's all I really remember from that day.
That's funny. So you said you can't be a heel. Like most people say that's the easiest job.
Right.
What about being a heel is just it doesn't work for you?
I just can't be mean to people. I don't like being mean to people. Very young age, I started working at the age of 8, and being from a small community, you talk to people. You're in line at a grocery store, and you look behind you, and you make eye contact with somebody, and immediately conversation.
Mhm.
I can't not do that. I can't just be like, "Hey, kid, shut up," blah blah blah. I no, I don't like to do it. Um, and it also goes with the sportsmanship of like John Cena growing up with that, and the respect of it all. It's just I respect the fans too much, I guess, because I'm one of them, or yeah, I'm one of the fans, so I just can't go and do it.
Okay. Earlier you brought up, when you heard about the Sierra match and that it
Mhm.
was happening, you couldn't believe it. Um, do you think that they picked you because of them being like maybe seeing you going against male talent? Because I've seen like examples of female talent going against male talent. Like one that comes to mind, CSW had a show not too long ago, and Maggie
Mhm.
Lee took on Warhorse,
Okay.
and they tore the house down. Probably the best match on that card,
Ooh.
and it made Maggie look like almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes seeing like it elevates you guys. Not saying that you can't get elevated facing other women, but it makes it seem like okay, these girls can come up and even beat up a guy who's 2 3 times their size. Do you think
Mhm.
that's why they saw you and was like, maybe she's got something?
I think so. My name was slowly up and coming. Uh, Gosh, I don't even summer of 2024. I wasn't as big as I was or am now. But I do think the promoter did have see like potential in me and just gave me. He's like, yeah, sure, let's bring her in. Let's see what she has. Let's see what she got. So it was. I unfortunately have not been back to that promotion, but I am actually booked for that promotion in 2026. So we are going to be showing them the whole new Josie Valentine, and
Okay.
hopefully getting more bookings with them.
Okay. So far in your career, what do you think's your favorite match that you've had?
Oh, this is good. When if you asked me this maybe a few months ago, I would have been like, I really don't know. I honestly don't know. Even with the guys, like I honestly don't know. But now there's a handful of them. There is a handful of them. Tootie Lynn, Frontline Pro, amazing match. One of my top favorite matches. Also, Rory Shields at Frontline Pro, another one of my favorite matches. Uh, I did tag with one of the Baker boys, Big Rig, against oh my goodness, I'm blanking on their name. They're gonna kill me if they see this. Oh my goodness. Uh, yeah, Royal Flavor. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. um, that is probably one of my favorite tag matches that I've had. Teaming with Big Rig on that one, and then also with Sierra. I can't. What is my one of my? We actually just had a match at POW, at a fair, and I think that was one of like my favorite matches. One of my favorite matches that we've had because it was just also like, um, I growing up, I did like the storylines, but now it's more so like, I just watch wrestling for the wrestling.
Mhm.
But working with the crowd and doing my whole gimmick and getting involved with the crowd and getting the crowd involved with us, like it made me forget like it's like that, like what it's like to do that and like be a kid again and just like watching professional wrestling and seeing all the young kids like cheer and go crazy just for like the girls wrestling and going ham in the ring. So it was probably one of my favorite matches with Sierra.
Okay. What would you say, like, you've traveled around the Midwest, you've done a lot of work in the Midwest. What are some promotions that you've been having your eye on, haven't gotten the door yet, that you'd like to step into?
That's a good question. For the indie scene, I would have to say AAW. I know they've been kind of making their way around in the Midwest, along with like the Chicago area.
Mhm.
Um, I think freelance would be super cool to work for, and alongside with them. I think that would be amazing. I would like to go. I've been. It's funny because I wrestle in Illinois, but more so like the outskirts of Chicago, not Chicago itself. I do know that there is a promotion out in Yuba City, California. That is where my older brother lives, and I would love to get my foot in the door with them, just so my brother can watch me wrestle live. I know that's probably like the only way he'll be able to see me live if I go travel out on the West Coast. Um, oh, goodness. But really, like, we're just kind of going with the flow. And whoever DMs me, messages me, I'm more than welcome and happy to, like, try out a new promotion, debut at a new promotion, to meet new people. I did not think I'd be meeting this many new people just going out and wrestling. Like, I just kind of growing up, I was just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go in the ring and wrestle. Like that's it, and then we'll go home. Like no, like you you meet so many different faces every week, and also like same faces every week too. But from then, sorry, going there on up, I would love to go to Ring of Honor, TNA. I'm really trying to shoot for AEW. I would love to wrestle for that promotion, but baby steps for sure.
What about AEW sticks out?
They're scheduling. I won't lie.
Yeah.
They're scheduling. I really like the fact that maybe being on television twice a week, maybe even once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm totally fine with that. It's also having the weekends off. I'm really big on helping others out, so I would totally love to get signed to AEW and then like have a Friday or a Saturday off and go back to my home promotion, whether it be NRW, Frontline, Zawa, POW, any of the promotions I've worked for in the past, and just be like, hey, AEW star Josie Valentine's here with us this weekend. Like, come on down and come meet her, and just create a bigger crowd for them and getting more people into their promotion as well. So,
So it'd be a way maybe to give back.
yeah,
Okay.
most definitely.
I like that. I mean, that's kind of like the whole reason I started doing the podcast is
Yeah.
like I grew up wanting to wrestle. I have some medical issues and I
Oh no.
can't. So well, right now I can't. I might be able to in the future. You never know what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
But giving back was the biggest reason. Like, I mean, I love professional wrestling, so
Mhm.
like, what better way to give back to this thing that's helped me in times where I was struggling or I needed a vice than to give you guys a platform to tell your stories and to share your stories and to shed a light on, I mean, independent wrestling more than anything. Like, obviously, I'd like to talk to WWE stars and AEW stars
Yeah,
and guys on television and girls on television, but I mean, the main reason to do this is to talk to the Josie Valentines of the professional wrestling scene
for
and to
sure.
see how far they go and watch you guys grow. And I mean, more than anything, to just spread that love for professional wrestling.
Yeah,
Um, something like I've thought a lot about is the tribalism in professional wrestling that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like the you can't like this promotion because of this, or because you gotta like this one. You get what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
Like
lot of that stuff, a
there's
lot of
so
politics.
much,
It's crazy.
and
It's
it's one of those things where in the world of wrestling, I don't know if it necessarily makes sense because I mean, if we're really thinking about it, we all just watch a bunch of dudes roll around in their underwear. So what do we
mhm,
have to be tribal about?
right. Yeah, yeah. No, one of my friends, he's just like, I just want to let you know, like, we're fake fighting in our underwear, and I'm doing this with my best friends. And he's all like, he's like, I could have been a lawyer. Would that make me happy? No, but play fighting in my underwear with my best friends, that's what makes me happy. I was like, you know what? That's a good point. I was like, I never thought about that, but that's a pretty good point. So
100%. We
I think.
we
Oh, sorry. Go
sorry.
ahead.
No,
Oh,
continue.
I was gonna say, I think I would rather, which is my situation. It is. I think I'd rather be doing what I'm doing now, broke, than instead of being at a 9 to 5 office cubicle, whatever, doctor, lawyer, dentist. I don't think that would be the life for me. I don't think I would be happy doing that. But this professional wrestling is what makes me happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've touched a little bit on Frontline Pro. How
Mhm.
did you get your foot in the door there, and kind of what are your goals within that promotion specifically?
How did I get my foot in the door with there? I've actually known Ben, and I've known Ben for a while. I wasn't wrestling yet, but I was training. So I've known Ben for maybe 4 years. And I kind of just reached out to him and was just like, hey, like, I would love to come and set up and help out because my friends were getting bookings over at Frontline Pro and wrestling, and I'm a big supporter, so I'm like, all right, like, I'll totally drive 4 hours just to see my friend go wrestle, and I will totally do that for anybody. And I just had the money that weekend, and he goes, how about this? He's like, how would you actually like to wrestle for Frontline that weekend? I was like, oh, I was just here for ring setup and helping you guys out. I was like, but if you are insisting and wanting me to wrestle for your company, then heck yeah, let's do it. Quick little story. I uh, met, or I'm sorry, I was at a promotion that was borrowing Ben's ring, and me and I think 2 or 3 other guys were doing ring teardown, and it's like 10 at night, 11 at night. It's pretty late. We just got done with the show. Other wrestlers are either getting undressed or talking to fans, so they're doing their own thing. And us ring crew, we're just trying to get this ring down. And I remember Ben coming over and he goes, "All right, whoever is tearing down this ring, you are booked at my next event." Looks around, then looks at me, then he looks at the boys and he goes, "Boys only, men only," and he walks away. This was 2022, 2021, and I think it was 2022. I was very hurt, and I go, from this day, I'm going to wrestle for that man, and I'm going to prove him wrong, and I will wrestle for his promotion, and I don't care if it takes me 3 years, 5 years, a decade. One of these days, it's going to happen. So I wrestled for Frontline, and I went up against Rory Shields for the Libertyville Championship. Match was phenomenal. I unfortunately did lose, thanks to Xavier Michaels, that guy. And when everything settled down and the adrenaline was still pumping, but like everybody went their separate ways, I just went over to Ben. I was like, "Can I talk to you real quick?" I was like, "I just want to share you a story. Just like, if that's fine with you. And I told him that story, and his jaw just dropped, and he apologized. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, it was just a different time at the time. And I was just like, no, I was like, I get it. That's fine. I respect it. I respect you. Like, that is fine. But I just want to let you know, like, I'm so happy. Like, it fulfilled me that, like, I can say this, that I accomplished something that I said I was going to do, like, years ago. And here we are. Like, I'm in better shape. I've been my top physique I've ever been probably since high school. So, and I just told him, I was like, I just want to say thank you, like, for the opportunity. And he's like, you know what? He's like, keep your calendar open, like, and we'll bring you in on the next one. And hey, it was just, we just had our first all women's show for Frontline, and I was even on the poster. So I was very happy to see that. I'm very excited to be working with Ben and at Frontline as well.
That's badass. What are some of the goals you got there?
Oh, goodness. I actually have a bingo card, if
Okay.
you don't mind me reading it to you.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Let me just find it real quick. It's been a while. I can tell you one of the goals is to wrestle in 3 new states before 2026.
Okay.
Which unfortunately I don't think is going to happen, because I think I have like 3, unless it's on a Friday, but I have like 3 or 4 Saturdays left out of 2025. Oh goodness, come on. I do know one of the major goals is actually getting, here we go, gear, and not looking like John Moxley coming out to the ring.
Okay.
I would love to get actual gear, maybe with my nickname on the side of it, or just my logo. Gear is very expensive, unfortunately, and I got bills to pay, so it's always on the back burner, which I'm not really a fan of. But so here are a few of my bingo card, or a bingo card I have actually, is work as an extra for either WWE or AEW.
Okay.
Win a singles title. I don't know why I have this. 5 verified wrestlers following me.
Okay.
Get custom gear. 3 matches in one day. Wrestle 3 in 3 new states. A new travel suitcase. Make gear. Go to an Ace Steel class. Go to a Harley race class. Hit a Phoenix splash. Get a 6-pack. Work a name. Get my passport. Get gear designed, and then get business cards. So those are a little bit of the goals I have before 2025 ends, which is in a few months. I think 4 months. So I have a lot of work to do still.
What about Ace Steel stands out to you? Is it the Punk relation?
Yeah, like was it one of my friends up north said that is it Ace Steel that he knows? Or no, I'm sorry, that's Adam Pearce he knows. But yeah, no, it's the Punk relation. It's how, like, him and Punk just I watched their matches, so I'm just like, so I don't want to say starstruck, but it's just like I could keep watching their matches and never get bored. It's like my comfort match. I'll put it on.
You want to see more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just like the only way I'm going to see more is if I go down there and if I actually train. So I believe it's in Florida. I've never been to Florida. And who knows, maybe hit up a performance center while I'm at it.
Of course. I've had the privilege to talk to, I want to say 2 or 3 of the it's the foundation, is the name of the school. I've had talked to a couple students. Izzy Moreno, who is, I've talked to her. She's amazing. Most people know her from the Bailey Sasha feud, but she's great in the ring. I've talked to her, and then I'm terrible with names, like I told you before this.
Hey, I get dropped on my head like every week, so I totally get it.
The other guy is Nick Rodriguez. I want to say if I butchered that, I'm so sorry. But the cool thing about that conversation was he hadn't. I believe he'd only had one or two matches,
Mm-hmm.
or he had them scheduled and hadn't had them yet when I talked to him. So it's kind of crazy that I even found him, because usually you don't find you guys until you've had a match or two,
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least. So that was cool. But they've all spoken very, very highly of the foundation and the program that Ace has down there. I've been fighting to get Ace on so bad, because of the Punk thing. If you want me to be honest, I'm a huge
yeah,
CM Punk
yeah,
fan. I'd go as far to say I'm a CM Punk mark. I love Punk. Uh, so like getting a steal would be it'd be amazing. I guess the only hard part about that is he worked for TNA, so getting it, I'd have to go through TNA for that.
yeah,
Which I've had some TNA interviews, so it's not impossible. But
yeah.
working with Ace is something I guess we have in common, so that's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, no, like it's a correlation with the punk thing. Like Chicago, Chicago made punk. Chicago also kind of like made me because I was never the thick skin in one ear out the other kind of girl. Like I was a little sensitive growing up, so training in Chicago made me the strong, independent wrestler I am now. So if it wasn't if it wasn't for Chicago and training in Chicago and the Chicago traffic, if you ask me, I would not be as tough as nails as I am today.
You know, dealing with, I don't want to say dealing with because that sounds bad, but like working with talent and individuals around the Chicago area will make you tough, because
Oh,
they got a certain way about them. They know their worth. They know how they want to be presented. They just know who they are. So
mhm.
like working with
I
them,
totally respect that.
you go in respecting that and understanding that, and it teaches you. Like the biggest thing I've learned, especially from podcasting and talking with wrestlers and people mainly in the Chicago area, is you got to know who you are. So
Mhm.
like it's helped me figure out who I am as a podcaster, who
Yeah,
I am even as a person. Like it's just taught me so much. So I'm sure coming from a small town and then coming to a city and wrestling with all these people from that city has to be a completely different, it's got to be a huge change to a person.
it really is because it's just like you're in. I kind of want to say like your own bubble, but you're not because like I'm golden retriever energy, so I'm like I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to you. I want to talk, but like some people aren't like that, and especially like people from the city. It's just like I just want to do my stuff. I like uh do my stuff, head down, don't talk to me, please. And it was very hard for me to get used to this lifestyle, especially like the fast paced lifestyle. So I, in a blink of an eye, it's, like 3 months ago, it was what, May? And now it's August. It's
It's
the
crazy.
fast lifestyle. It's insane for me. I'm still not used to it. I've been up here for I think, yeah, 5 years. And I was just like, I was talking to my mom actually earlier today. I was like, I can't believe I've been up here for 5 years. Like, where'd the time go? Where's the cows? Where's the cornfields? Like, it's just nothing but buildings and traffic and all day traffic and everything. And I was just like, how did I get here? But professional wrestling, it's why I'm still up here away from family, unfortunately, but it's something I love. So
What would you say? I mean, obviously being away from your family and your hometown is tough. Is it the professional wrestling that keeps you going, or is there any other motivations that just keep you going along this journey?
Um, there's other motivation. So like I won't lie, like jobs. There's nothing in the small town I'm from, unless you're very big on agriculture. And which I was at one point, but not to where I want to make a career out of it. So when I moved out and here into the city and everything, I was getting more money, and I was just like, oh, I can help now. I'm not home. I have no reason to pay for bills, but here, mom, here's 100, here's 200. Oh, you need the electric bill paid for this month. Like, I gotcha. Like, it was always, it's a major like help that like I get paid more because I'm up here. And that's also what drives me is like, okay, I know I'm away from family. I know I'm away from my mom and my brother, but as long as I can help them, I'll still be kicking it up here. I'll still be wrestling. I'll still be working. It's we've had a tough lifestyle growing up, so I always try to help as much as I can. And that, like I said earlier, I've been working since the age of 8, so I know the struggle and I know what it's like and I know how it feels. And it's not a great feeling to be broke all the time. So as long as I'm still working and wrestling, I'll be up here and helping out my mom.
I love that. Who would you say are your biggest dream match opponents?
Ooh, Athena. I won't lie. I've been seeing her work a lot.
She's impressive.
She is. I actually, before I was wrestling, I was working alongside with Steve that owns Warrior Wrestling. And I was helping him get, talent to and from the airport. And I had Athena. And I was just like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. Like, what do I talk to her about? Like, I don't want to seem like a mark. I don't want to seem like a major fan because I am training at the time. So I had to be professional as well. We did not talk much. Let me tell you that. We did not talk much at all. And I said the most embarrassing thing when I took a photo with her and I was just like, hey, that'll be us in the ring one day. And she was just like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, yep, sure thing. And I was just like, why did I say that? So that is a match that I have to like have to redeem myself from the embarrassment. Jordan Grace, she is actually one of the main reasons I got into meal prepping, and not bodybuilding, but lifting, I guess, getting back into shape is, I've seen her before. She put muscle on and I was just like, okay, I'm a little bit heavier than what she was. So I know I could do this. I even reached out to her in 2021, I think it was. And she even texted me back. She's like, yeah, hey, like for meal preps, I did this. Maybe you can do this. Good luck to you. And I did. This was like right before she signed with WWE. And I reached out to her like maybe like a week before or something. Like, she came out and everything for the WWE. I messaged her and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, here's a side-by-side comparison of like what I looked like when I started to now. And I just want to say thank you. Unfortunately, she never opened it. It's undelivered, but I was just like so grateful for her advice on like meal prepping and everything. So she's one of another big dream opponents that I'd love to have.
Amazing. Do you have any on the indies that you've been looking at?
On the indies, yeah, actually, I do have a few. Actually, I do have a list.
You got a list. I love the list.
Sorry, I'm like.
That's my favorite thing. I love ever since Cody did it. I love trying to figure out who's people's list.
Those are the matches I've had. Maybe is it under dream matches? Here we go. Even though I have already worked her, Sierra, but a street fight for some sort of championship match. I would love to do that. I do have Missa Kate on here.
Okay.
Shayna Baszler.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I do have, like I said, Jordan Grace. And then I also have Willow Nightingale for a Chicago Brawl or a street fight. Matches that I would like to have are I Quit matches, street fight, a tables match. And for some reason, I've always liked these matches, but lumberjack matches. I don't know why. Okay. I've been a big fan of them, especially from the one of Mark Henry versus Christian. during a show on like the main event of a SmackDown, like in 2009, 2010. I don't know why, but that match is always like in my head. And then for the men, I actually would like to go up against Shaq Jordan. He's a bully. That boy is a bully. Get him out of here. Somebody needs to put him down, put that bully on the street. And I love Shaq Jordan, and we always give each other too much, pardon my language, we always give each other too much shit, and he's been a really good friend of mine. So, and then another bully that I would like to beat up is Brock Hall, because Brock Hall sucks, and somebody needs to remind him. Nice. Again, another. He's a big brother to me. If you see photos of us together, I'm just always glaring at him. Like I'm just a little sister that always bothers the poor man that's just trying to live his life. And Joey Avalon.
Ooh.
He has been Sierra and Brock are my gang. They're my squad. So he has actually been, without him, I can't thank him enough for pushing my career of what it is today. He's the reason why I got booked in North Dakota, first time out of the Midwest, getting onto a show, over 700 people watching me take my first pile driver. So that was really exciting to take. And just without him, like nothing like would be, I don't even know. I can't even have the words for it. I guess like just you meet the right people at the right time, and these three people were here for me at the right time, and they saw I had potential, and I was not in the greatest mindset, but they knew I had something going for me, and they took the chance to invite me in as family, and ever since then I felt welcome. Like, so thank you guys.
You know, Joey is somebody that since I've started the podcast and really dove into like the Midwest wrestling scene, he's somebody that's been on my list. Had a couple conversations with him. Schedules always clash, but Joey's definitely one of those guys that, and I know there's still time, but like it's crazy he hasn't been signed yet. If that makes sense. He's so good.
Because I remember he's been on AEW, and so has Sierra. So I'm just like, you guys are great. So what the hell? Like, what are we waiting
on?
Who had bring the pin? Like, come on! Like, where's the contract? Like, let's go! Like, these are good people from the Midwest, and not only good people, but good people in the ring. So I just don't understand. But
and Joey is like, he's one of those guys that obviously his persona, he's always going to play the bully or the bad guy. But I mean, if you see him talking to fans or Sierra or other people, he's always giving advice. He's always helping. He's always so like that. I think he's always giving back. Like, and maybe that could be why he's not further, is because he's always giving back, which there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I'm just always curious on, like, you see guys like Joey Avalon on the indies and you're like, why hasn't WWE or AEW or TNA scooped you right up? Because you got all the talent in the world, get heat. Like, Joey walks out in front of a crowd and the crowd's booing immediately. You don't have to say anything or do anything. The music hits and they're ready to riot. So what's going on?
Yeah, like they just have that aura with them. So they can read the crowd and flip it like a switch. So it's just like, again, where's the pin? Bring the contract out.
Do you
go? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have a good Joey Avalon story?
Yes and no. Like, in the beginning, when I was a 200-pound or almost 200-pound girl of, no knowledge whatsoever on the indie scene, I was always very shy to talk to him because
Okay.
he's just this tall, brooding man that's just like you always see alone. And I was just like, "Hi, Joey." Oh God, okay, leave me alone. I would always run away. So to be friends with them now, it's just like, oh, I can't believe I was like that towards you. I'm so sorry. Or like Brock Hall. I thought he was a mean guy, and I always steered cleared from him. Total opposite. And now he can't get rid of me. Now I'm pestering little sister. But no, yeah, I just was told in the beginning, like, not out of rudeness or anything, but somebody did say like, and it wasn't the friend group I'm with now or anything, but they pulled me aside and they were like, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of where you came from and how you evolved and you found yourself, because when you first started, I was like, there's no way this shy petite little girl is going to make it in the wrestling business, because I just didn't have it. And I just like I said, I was being somebody I wasn't, and I'm this shy, more so bubbly now, but like I was just this shy girl in her own world and everything. But now that I found myself and everything, and like I'm going with the flow and I'm actually being who I really am, they're like, I'm very proud of you, and you've evolved into like something that you should have been doing since you stepped foot in a wrestling ring. They're like, what is wrong with you? Why have you not done this? So it's been a journey, and it's been an insane journey. So, and I think everybody that has been there by my side on the up and coming, and I hope that they, are still with me whenever wherever I am in like 5 to 10 years or in a year or whatever.
Speaking of looking into the future, what would you tell yourself, like knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself right before you was about to make that debut? Like if you go back and talk to yourself then, what would you tell that version of you?
What would I tell myself, my future self? Don't
Your,
forget. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
your past self. Like what would you
Oh,
tell
don't.
debut you?
Oh, debut me. Okay, I got you. My past self, debut self. Keep your head up. Never look down. Always keep your head up. Keep your chin up. I will constantly, sometimes, even how I walk, like I'll have my head down. Nope, immediately. Chin up, head up, shoulders straight, chest up. You'll get through it. It might be scary at first. You'll get through it. You're gonna meet new people, cool people down the road. You're even gonna hear some negative stuff, but in one ear, out the other.
Couldn't agree more. Josie, I want to say thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
It was a blast. It was a pleasure. I'll leave the door open. You everyone come on for a part 2? I'd love to have
Yeah, if I'm not busy playing Xbox, I have no time for that. What am I talking about? No, I'm always, I'm always here. If I'm not wrestling, my DMs are more than welcome for you. So always shoot me that message.
Sounds good. I know we did at the beginning, but just in case for some reason they wasn't paying attention, would you like to shout out your social medias again, just to let the
Yeah.
fans know where to check you out?
If you want to be besties with me on Facebook, it is Josie Valentine. We are going to be posting some cute cat pictures or whatever the hell I'm doing in the wrestling ring the previous weekend. Josie Valentine official on Instagram, and then TikTok is J Valentine Pro Wrestler. Don't really post on there, but it's there. It's available.
Perfect. Josie, I will leave this at see you next time.
Bye, Justin.